Hi everyone, and welcome to the Cake Sculptress tutorial. Now this tutorial is for not Sonic the Hedgehog, but Knuckles the Hedgehog. So here I have my structure. I'm just putting some buttercream and I'm going to add my cakes on. These are 6-inch cakes because they're going to go quite high on the two sort of levels. Now the head is going to be a large polystyrene ball, so it's nice and light. So obviously that's not going to be edible. So once we get all our cakes on, we're going to ganache them. Cover it in ganache. Trying to count how many there is there. So I've made my structure and I've got my 2 arms and my tail already on, ready to be covered in fondant. So once you've ganached the whole cake, you can let it sit and settle and set a little while. Like so. So now I'm adding some fondant underneath to make his bottom part look not so sharp edged. And I'm putting fondant around the steel rods. I didn't make steel rods food safe because I don't think they'll be eating the legs, to be honest. But if you wanted to make them food safe, you can put some straws or the foil tape or foil around them. Now some people use underneath Rice Krispies. I prefer just to use fondant and it sticks really well to get the shape that I want. It looks a bit like chicken legs just now. So once we've got the base of the fondant covered, I'm going now to cover it with a nice red colour. All over the legs. Get your edges quite well blended in. And then we have to do the other leg as well, and the backs. So once we've got our legs done, we're going to carry on and cover the body. Now I've marked some lines as well through just to give them a little bit of texturizing, like fur. So once you've got your body covered, you're going to cover your arms with some fondant. Now if you're making your arms, you need a good strong wire to hold themselves up because he's got quite big knuckles as well, hence the name Knuckles. So for his knuckles, I'm just going to use some foil. And I'm making a hand knuckle shape with the foil. And then I'm going to cover the knuckle with some fondant. if you use just fondant at the ends, I think it's going to weigh the arms down and be a problem. So that's why I just use some foil and then cover it with fondant. So I'm giving the arms another coat of fondant just to make them more shapely and a little bit bigger. I take my time doing this in case the wire gets too heavy. I like to just add pieces on at a time to make sure that the arms aren't going to flop down, because he is standing in quite a pose. So I'm just going to form the hand more and make the fist-like position of the hand. And just adding on a little thumb. Trying to decide which way is best for the thumb. Tried a few different ways. I do get it the way I want it eventually. Still trying to get the thumb right. I can remember this. It was a bit of I figure it out, I think. I was a bit, oh dear, I can't get this bit right. But I do get it right in the end. So there you are. We have got the body, the legs, one hand, and you need to get the other hand on. And of course the tail. Again, a nice strong wire or stick has to be in there and cover it for food safety, and giving it some markings. So I'm just putting more on the chest area because I feel it needed a little bit more shape. And then I'm going to spray paint the whole of the cake red, apart from the head at the moment. Now you could use ready coloured fondant if you haven't got a spray gun, an airbrush. I love using my airbrush. So I'm making the other hand knuckle now. I figured out when I made the other one first that I had to spray it red. I went, whoops, I maybe have to recover. I think I managed to do it without hitting red all over it. I wasn't going to try that with the second one, just in case. It's exactly the same, forming the hand into the shape that you want, like a clenched fist, and then pop your thumb on. So next we're going to go on and do his big shoes. He's got like trainers on. So form your bit of fondant round about the bottom of the steel rods. And they've got to look a bit like a pair of trainers. So one facing one way and one facing the other. And then we're going to spray paint them red, or use your ready-made red fondant. Now we have to add our decoration once they've dried a bit. So now my shoes are a little bit drier. I'm going to add some colouring on, so he's got like socks, green socks. got neon yellow to add on too. And he's looking pretty cool. So I'm just putting some marks around the socks to make them look like, you know, the top band of your socks is a bit elasticated looking. And that's what I was doing there. So here we go with our yellow to make them more shoe-like trainers. Going to need some, I think it's around the soles to make it look like soles. Some glue. And then we've still to add laces, I think. A little bit of grey on top, and he's looking quite cool. We're adding his laces on. So the next part, we're just going to finish off his arms a bit. So he's got cuffs. So just a nice wide piece of fondant wrapped around to make his cuffs. And then he's got spikes sticking out his knuckles as well. We have to add them on. You don't need any sticks or anything. Edible glue will stick them on quite well for you. So he's got this sort of white part at the top of his neck as well. We've just been adding that on. And now to the head. So I'm marking it off with some edible glue. And I've put a stick on a skewer to hold his nose, and so it can dry a little while. This is an edible pen, and I'm marking out roughly where I want his eyes and his mouth to be. You can use like a printed template if you want to do this. I tend to do a lot of eye to hand coordination. So now I'm just adding round about the eyes the fondant all over the head. So we've got beige fondant for the mouth area and cut off the excess. Adding on, I think, more of the hair, the out shot there. I think I have got it in shots, just not on the setting, so maybe we'll have a wee look at that. So we add on the rest of the hair, and at the back he's going to have longer pieces of spiky hair, which I've still to add on. Just trying to get the idea of it. So we're getting there, guys. It's quite a difficult cake, so if you're going to try it, Make sure you know sort of what you're doing. So I'm trying to make this long hair pieces. We can't make them too heavy and thick, but enough to hold and get the shape. If you wanted, you could make these with foil. Yeah, make some long foil pieces and cover them with fondant, because the foil's nice and light, but they'll keep the shape and they're not going to be eating the head. Even if they did, they can pick the foil, the fondant, if they wanted to eat fondant, off the head. But make sure you tell your customer it is not cake on the head. The cake is the body. Once you get hair on, then you can make it red as well. And then we're still to do the eyes and more face details. So we're getting there. I've got a little bit of red on my neck there. Whoops. So I'm adding some more fondant around his neck just to cover up any gaps. And then I'll have to paint that red. And I think I'm going to have to put another piece of white on my messy white part on his body. Little touch-ups here and there. So I'm just marking his face now with some hair look. See his hair. And his little nose. And paint it black. Giving a little bit of black inside the eyes just to make them pop. And I put a little bit of black inside his mouth, you can see there. This angle, it looks as though one eye's bigger than the other. Maybe it is. I didn't think it was, but maybe it's just the angle. Anyway, on we go. I'm making the actual eyeballs, trying to get them like teardrop sized fondants. And then paint the inside. There we go. 2 eyes. Maybe one is a little bit wider than the other side now I'm looking, but it's fine. I've added another piece of white fondant on the one that I had on because it got a bit red. So we're nearly finished. So I'm just making, the grass. The grass I made out of crushed edible materials. Hope you enjoyed this video, guys, and have a go. Quite a big cake. Please subscribe to my YouTube or my Facebook group. Thank you very much, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.